Welcome back to It Tastes Like Burning, this Matt.
This Jesse.
And we're late. And we're sorry.
And we've been sick.
And busy.
And busy, but a lot of sick.
And busy.
Yeah. Turns out everything that can make you sick in Texas, allergy-wise, has decided to descend upon us like, I don't know, locusts.
Yeah. Like now.
Yeah. It's horrible.
I've always struggled with allergies in Texas, but this particular, whatever you want to call it, late winter, early spring, has just been sheer hell.
Yeah. I've gone through days of not being able to talk.
Or breathe.
Yes. Breathing is optional.
But at least the gagging while you're trying to sleep.
Yeah. No, it's helpful.
Yeah.
Keeps you awake.
And it doesn't matter the significant amount of medication you take or not. Doesn't help. Anyways, if you feel like complaining about your allergies, you can always find us at ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com. You can support us on, ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Sorry. And you can always find us on Patreon for some support. We'd always appreciate the handful of you that consider that. You can find us on YouTube. And where else, Jesse?
We're on the old X, Twitter.
X and Twitter.
And we're on the Facebook.
Right on the Facebook.
Yeah. We're anywhere you want to find us. We're not very good at posting consistently, though.
No, we suck at that.
We're terrible at that.
That's our unique charm.
Yeah.
Unreliable, but at least sporadic.
We know what we're supposed to be doing. We just choose not to do it.
Right. That's our signature.
Yeah.
That's our recipe to success. So, one thing that I want to highlight today is I think one thing that's been, and we've talked about it in the past, but a key prominent factor of support and success that we've had is that we have been engaged by and with, let's just call it the firefighting community as a whole. We've kind of talked ad nauseum at the local level, but here in Texas in a few months, and here at a national level in a few months, we're going to have a couple of our volunteer firefighter things that are going to happen. Jesse, tell us about that first one in Texas. Actually, I'll talk about Texas. You talk about AVFC. Yep. So Texas is going to have its 150th anniversary of the State Firefighters and Fire Marshals Association in Waco. June, 20.
No, it's early June. Give me half a second and I'll get that up.
Anyways, we're going to be in Waco. 150 years of supporting volunteer firefighters and fire marshals. And SFFMA has a pretty unique history in the sense of way it really kind of became a force in the 1930s.
Yeah. And that's June 12th and 13th.
June 12th and 13th.
Yeah, and 14th.
Okay. So it was Colorado City had a disaster fire, and damn it, this proves that it's not scripted, because now I should have looked all this crap up before I went into it. But I know it was Colorado City. There was 5 volunteer firefighters that were killed trying to save a whole bunch of people. And that statue to those volunteer firefighters is in front of the Texas Capitol. There's a memorial to those 5 volunteers that died in Colorado City. And coming out of that, one of the directives was to figure out how to get volunteer firefighters consistent training. And SFFMA, which had existed beforehand, became the mantelpiece, the bridge for carrying a standard of training across the state of Texas to their VFDs. And we're coming up on our 150-year anniversary, and it's just a unique piece of history that isn't really associated with SFFMA and why it's a training organization. And I know the president right now pretty well. Maybe I ought to call him and tell him, like, you ought to make this little tidbit because last year you had this piece of history interjected into the meeting. Now, I don't think you're going to find anyone alive from 1930.
Whenever, yeah.
Okay. And if you do, let's be honest, they
They'll blow
probably
spit
shouldn't
bubbles.
speak.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be speaking. But maybe we should have someone there that can actually speak as a historian on the event, the impact to the organization, and how it got us to where we're at today. Um, I know for us, it's mostly a networking and opportunity to train.
Yeah, I have a few other things that I take and give from it. I use it as a way to push the entirety of the fire service in Texas forward, uh, and kind of leave my indelible mark on the fire service in Texas. But I involve myself in some pretty lofty projects there.
Would you be interested in any wolf burn single
No,
cask?
I'm gonna hold off because it seems to exacerbate my allergies.
Yeah, I've noticed that I'm having a hard time breathing too, but I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off just on that.
It's actually a really good Highland Scotch. Little more smoky and peaty that's typically associated with Highland Scotches, but it's pretty good.
It's not bad. I've enjoyed it before.
Carry on, conference.
Anyway, I enjoy the fact that I'm helping provide opportunities for individuals throughout the state and helping to secure training agreements and training opportunities for all these people and kind of push the whole thing forward. But that's all endeavors that I've chosen to take on personally. That's not the average guy doing that kind of stuff. That takes a little more commitment than the average Joe.
The one thing that I've seen with my job is that I get to see and meet a lot of departments now. We we are about 10 to 15 years ahead of everyone else. Really 10 years of taking training seriously and setting our own path on it. That's the big difference. Is that we didn't want to wait on any other entity or organization. We just said we are going to train. We have the criteria and the outline for training provided by SFFMA. We are going to use this as a template, and then any other advanced training that we want, we're going to go get it. But I see more and more and more departments in Texas that are, for a lack of better words, they're making their version of the generational gap right now.
Yeah.
Like they're crossing that Rubicon, that divide right now. Uh I've met a ton of chiefs that are my age. That classic 38 to 42, 37, 43 uh in the last 6 months than in the last 2.5 years. Um, and the cool thing is the departments are all hungry for training, and I'm doing my absolute damnedest to point them to SFFMA and point them to TEACS and point them to NVFC. And we'll talk about NVFC here in a second, but like that's the big thing now is that a lot of people, they want to train, they're doing their own thing, they're working with TEACS, which is awesome, but there's some other steps to this that they need to take.
Yeah. Well, if you want to accelerate the process, one of the biggest changes that hasn't fully taken hold yet, right? So even when I started in the late 90s, early 2000s, certification was an end goal. So you'd spend 20, 25, 30, 50 years achieving certification in the volunteer fire service. And there's a group of us that are pushing for that to change and it not be the end goal, it to be the beginning.
Right.
And I think that we have done a good job of shifting the dynamic of the process to allow the process to work for it to be the beginning and not the end.
Right.
It can still be the end, but now it can be the beginning. And
I don't want to be ageist on this because, I mean, I just thought of like 10 old dudes that are, and they've been chief a long time, but they also realize that this ain't working.
right.
Like, this ain't worth a crap. And what happened is every single one of them were on a call. And I don't want to say it went bad, but it wasn't awesome. And they had to have a moment of self-reflection there and realized like, oh God, this this isn't it. Like
Yeah.
this was it in 1970.
It's not it today.
It's not it today. We need to change.
Yeah.
And we've got to grow and develop. I just met a guy last week. He's been chief for 60 years.
Oh wow. Now, that
Like
is a very doable and righteous thing if you stay ahead of it.
he also looked like a man that had been chief for 60 years.
Yeah, if you don't stay ahead of it, that's going to be disastrous, right?
Here's the weird thing, and I do mean weird. Oddly enough, he's not 60, he's not 70. Hell, he's barely 80.
Just spring chicken.
Okay. The next youngest person on the department, I think, was 32. Don't get me wrong, he was chief. Period.
Yeah.
Okay. Chief, like God is God. All right. But next youngest person on the department was probably in his early 30s. Rest of them were maybe 30, 20s. And then I kid you not, at like 2 dozen literal teenagers.
Excellent.
He was receptive. He interacted with him well. Couldn't hear worth the crap, but I mean, hell,
Well, that helps.
you're 90. I get it.
That helps.
And they're not a huge department. They're not tiny. Not an absolute nothing call volume, but it's not huge. 300 calls a year. So they're busy enough.
Yeah.
They have structure fires. They have car accidents. They have a lot of car accidents. They have a lot of wildfire. 10 structure fires a year, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good amount for a small department like that. I
Yeah.
mean, rural, I'm assuming very rural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very rural. Even being the county seat. Very rural.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was interesting talking to him. I'd love to get him on the podcast. I highly doubt he would even remotely understand it.
And we have such a good track record with guests.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We might make an exception for that because there's
Yeah.
not much of that out there.
Yeah. So I'm back to what I was saying. Like the training aspect and certification and a firefighter two being the beginning instead of the end.
Right.
Right? I think there's this big transition that's happening now, and I see it through the certification board because I see all of these departments and individuals that are firing up academies that are doing what we've been doing for a long time, that are pushing people to certification because there is a path now. And honestly, I think it's the greatest thing that's happened in the last 150 years.
So, what do you recommend that they do to push past Fire 2?
Do it as fast as humanly possible. As fast as you can make it all happen. If that's a year, that's great. If that's 2 years, that's great. If that's 3 months, that's great. Get it done in a timely manner. Don't drag it out. Don't carry it for a 10-year process.
And what are they doing though to move beyond that?
What do you mean move beyond?
Firefighter 2.
What they're going to go do after that?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to pick up all the rescue stuff, the driver stuff, the officer development. There's instructor. There's 63 certifications right now in the catalog for state firemen, fire marshals
For Texas.
for Texas. And oddly enough, now I'm not telling you that it will reciprocate to Maine or Vermont, because it will not probably do that. But do you have to live in Texas to be a member of the State Firemen Fire Marshals Association of Texas?
I honestly have no clue. I'd assume no.
We have an international membership. So if you're in Mexico or Guam or wherever,
Guam's a U.S.
it is a
territory.
territory, but if you're outside of Texas, there's still the opportunity to use that as a means to acquire training and better yourself. Does that mean that training is going to reciprocate to another state's certification? No, it does not mean that at all. But those agreements are possible and out there. In some places it does work, and that's something you just have to dig into a little bit deeper. But the ability to use that membership for knowledge is there.
Right. Yeah. Now, we could talk a lot more about this, but we've got also another major conference coming up in a few months, and that is NVFC, National Volunteer Fire Council.
Yeah, and that is in June as well.
Right.
That is 27th. No, it switched months on me. 26th, 27th of June. And that's one that I'm also speaking at.
And this will be your first one, right? That you've been to.
Yes, never been to it before. Always wanted to go. For whatever reason, it is always lined up almost to the day with the state firemen, fire marshals.
Right.
Same time, same bat channel, same bat time, completely different part of the country.
And you're speaking.
I'm speaking, yes.
Are you by yourself?
No, Kim Hilsenbeck, the marketing director for State Firemen and Fire Marshals Association of Texas, and myself are teaching a class on marketing fire departments. And I've been asked, well, why does a fire department market? Or is this applicable to just volunteer departments? And the answer is, well, you need to be marketing. And the other answer is it's applicable to all fire departments, whether you're
literally all.
Combination career, volunteer, any and all. The principles of it are the same no matter what. It's just good sense. But I've seen dramatic changes in departments' ability to recruit, grow their base, fundraise, just their social media presence in general. And it's fast reaching. Like, we're seeing these guys come to us all over the state now. We've been teaching this class for 2 years, and in limited supply. We've taught it in a handful of events where it was requested, and traveled around the state a little bit with it. And those that have chosen to take it have been impacted greatly and done well. Those that have chosen to ignore it have also ignored their ability to grow and develop, basically. little department outside of Abilene with a chief that's I'm gonna call him as about as straight laced as he could possibly be. Uh, Went to our class, and even though he said he lacked the technical ability or the creativeness to post anything, he gave it to somebody, and they went from like 2,500 followers to 10,000
Right.
in a year's period.
Yeah, no, it's kind of whatever. We've talked a lot about this. It's kind of absurd if you actually put some time, energy, and effort into it, at how big of a difference that it can make.
Yeah, it's still, even though we've not done any active recruiting per se in almost 2 years now, right at 2 years, over 2 years, it still reaps benefits to us every month.
Right.
You know, uh, I think we have to be careful about getting overzealous with it and recruiting too much, because I think we could have 400 people in about a month if we got after it hard again like we did in the beginning. But it's still at a steady rate. We have applicants.
Yeah, that's a completely different actual discussion of how much is too much, because there's a very definitive cost to people.
Yeah,
Very definitive cost. In a completely different podcast.
yeah, for sure. But back to the MVFC, Arlington, Virginia, June 26th, 27th. Uh, there's a couple of speakers from Texas.
I was going to ask, are you the only class, or is there other
There's
things?
there's a ton of classes. Registration is open right now on the MVFC website. It's actually a really cheap conference.
Yeah, all things
outside of,
considered.
outside of airfare. Airfare is kind of pricey, but hotel conference registration, as far as just being a couple days, it's very affordable. Conference registration was 165, I think. Uh, super good. There's a lot of classes. There's classes from every kind of aspect that you could think of, from EV stuff to lithium stuff to leadership to marketing to you name it. There's a class there. They're all in about 2 hour blocks, hour and a half blocks. So not too long that you're going to lose interest, but long enough to get some information across. We Us and Dan Kramer, who was a former director of SFFMA, he's also there teaching a leadership class.
Is he?
Yeah. So there are a couple of people from Texas. Dallas Renfrew is also from Texas. He's the first VP, I believe. So he's going to be there of the MVFC. Super good dude, super into training. Uh, spent a career at Teaks. Uh, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's not teaching, but he will be there. So, hopefully there's a little bit of a contingent from Texas this time. I don't think Texas has made much of a showing at this event for many, many years,
Right.
just due to the timing of it.
So the only NVFC conference I've been to is when it was in Grapevine. I have no clue how the hell it ended up in Grapevine. But I went. And it was a phenomenal conference. Uh,
Was
I
it
particularly went for one class only.
was it there at the Gaylord?
No, it was at where the Bass Pro Shop's
Oh,
at.
okay. There at the embassy.
Yeah, it was a truly gigantic complex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had no clue Grapevine had a
It's got like
convention
three or
complex.
four of them.
Right. And I went to that conference. I knew it was going to be good just because, but I went there for one particular class. Uh, and it was a phenomenal class. And the instructor to say was top notch is the understatement of the century. If you can go to NVFC, go. I realize it's in Washington. I realize actually the hotel's cheap.
Dirt cheap.
I mean, I'm flying in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday, and it's $500, $550. And I just checked on the map. I don't know. I might actually look at just driving out there.
Oh, excellent.
It's only a 19-hour drive.
Only. Yeah, well, in your current circumstance, that's like a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's for me. That's nothing.
Yeah.
We can break that down into 2 very simple days.
I'm gonna ride in the beer can with sardines.
I'm gonna look at what flights cost. I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
But I can leave on a Wednesday and still be there
Yeah. Flights were not cheap. I will guarantee
Thursday
that.
night.
Flights were pricey.
So we'll see on that.
Yeah.
That and God, I have this thing about commercial aviation right now and how bad it's gotten. Let's not even go down the rabbit hole. Like we have glanced off of it. Go back on topic. Yeah, if you have time, if you're local to Texas, guys, you need to figure out a way to get to Waco. Come on.
Yeah.
Like they have a big vendor thing. There's lots of vendors there. I understand that it's hard to maybe get there on the Thursday when we're doing all the preliminary crap.
But that's fine.
But come in on a Friday. Come in on a Saturday. Like there's good stuff. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of people to meet, a lot of good people to meet, a lot of good drinks to be had, especially in the hotel lobby. So
Yep. And there's knowledge, there's tradition, there's everything that you almost need.
right.
Yeah, it's a well worth it experience.
Correct.
And we're taking a pretty strong delegation this year again. We're actually really lucky because short of San Marcos, it's been right in our backyard.
And it will
be for the next couple of years.
Right? Sooner or later, this damn thing's going to bounce out.
Yeah, and it's going to end up in Refugio or somewhere.
Brownsville or Christ, El Paso or something like that. Text line. Nothing against text line or El Paso or Brownsville, but damn it.
That's a long way.
We're looking for attendance.
Yeah.
And not representation of equal distribution across the state. Because the fact of the matter is that even Texans don't realize how big this damn state is.
Yeah. I made the joke that we should have it at Choctaw in Oklahoma, and people said, well, why can't we?
We should.
Sounds excellent to me.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But your attendance is off the charts.
Yeah. Hell, we might get attendance from people that weren't there for it.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have we been going?
25 minutes.
We have been asked multiple times
to keep it short and sweet.
To keep it shorter. So we're going to try this. This is for our boys up on the hill.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it shorter. Guys, if you have time, reach out to MVFC, reach out to SFFMA, check it out. If you're interested, they're not hard to go to.
Yeah.
Like you really ought to find time to at least swing in there for a day.
Yeah. And join up to these organizations. The memberships are cheap. There's plenty of value for the dollar. Even if you don't make the conference, join the organizations. The membership is what makes these organizations work.
Right. Now, make it easy.
Yep.
Don't make it hard.
Yep.
This is Matt.
This is Jesse.
Have a good evening.